we are going to check out what fits in the Graceful and the Neverfull and kind of what that looks like side by side, so how it transitions over and how full that looks. Hey friends, I'm so glad to have you join me today. Today we're going to do a really fun comparison on the Louis Vuitton Neverfull GM and the Graceful MM. So if you enjoy authentic luxury handbags, what's in my bag, and more, make sure you like and subscribe down below. You guys subscribing means so much to me. It helps me bring you new content each week, and it helps you see wonderful, authentic luxury handbags. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started on the Louis Vuitton Graceful MM and the Louis Vuitton Neverfull GM. All right, friends, so like I said, today I have the Louis Vuitton Graceful MM and the Louis Vuitton Neverfull GM with me. So today we're going to compare them, talk a little bit about some similarities, differences, and we're also going to do what's in my bag to kind of see what can transition over and what cannot. Can they hold the same? We'll find out together. But also we are going to do a try on to see the fit of the bags and how they fit, maybe sit a little bit differently and all that good stuff. So first off, I wanted to say, if you guys check the description below, you can see organizers, base shapers, and all that good stuff for your handbags, as well as my favorite Amazon finds for those as well. So make sure you check those out down below. All the measurements will be down there for you and all that good stuff. So let's go ahead and dive into today's video. So first we have the Louis Vuitton Graceful MM. So this bag is a favorite for so many people because it's a comfortable, easy to carry, lightweight, hobo tote style bag. So as you can tell, this bag has that main one thick leather handle carry or over the shoulder carry. You could do either one. Typically this is a shoulder bag and it fits so comfortably and cute. I love the slouchy canvas, how it sits so well. So like I said, this is kind of an open tote bag, but it kind of isn't. So a little bit of a difference between this tote bag and this one you have here is that hobo style, you have that singular strap, and you also have this magnetic closure at the top, allowing for that additional privacy. Now with that said, on the Neverfull, it is that more open, wide tote bag. However, we do still have the little clasp at the top here, allowing for additional privacy. Not too much, but it gives you a little bit just to kind of hold the bag shut a little bit. So a couple things to note: if you love the look of the Neverfull, the open tote style, but you do want that additional privacy, I have a solution for you. In the description below, I have an organizer I found with that zip top closure. That way it allows for the additional privacy and still gives you the open tote style. You could order it for the MM if you have that, or the GM, either one would be totally fine. So let's keep moving forward here. All right, so let's do a little bit of a side-by-side real quick. So obviously the Neverfull GM is a little bit bigger than the Graceful MM, sorry. So if you had the Neverfull MM, it'd probably be a little bit closer in size. However, these are similar in some aspects, like the slouchy canvas. You do still have that on the Neverfull, which is a wonderful thing. But you have a little bit more structure on the Neverfull than on the Graceful. So I do have stuffing in both of them. This one has a pillow right now, and this one has some paper. But you still have more of the slouchy look at the bottom of this one, as to where the Neverfull, you still have those corners that are a little bit more taut, and they just keep a little bit more structure to the bag. So a couple things on carry. So as you can tell, the Graceful does have that one thick shoulder strap, as to where on the Neverfull, we see those two thinner shoulder straps. So which one is more comfortable for more items? It just really depends. So the Graceful, if you have more items and you don't like the one shoulder strap, that's not going to be the option for you. However, it is a very comfortable carry. And if you like the one shoulder strap and you don't find that it's a problem for you, that's a great option. Some, however, want a larger tote bag where you can fully open it and you have those double straps that allow you to kind of move them however you want. The Neverfull would be a great option for that. I find both very comfortable and super easy to use. The Graceful does have a wide mouth opening, and the way the handle sits does not get in your way at all. It's completely out of the way, so that is a great option. As to where it does kind of look like it would be in your way right at the top with how it sits, but it really does not, since you have those nice O-rings on either side. So that is a great thing about this bag. Over here, back on the Neverfull, a couple things we do see. Like I said, we have that clasp at the top, but the Neverfull, the way that this bag could be used is really so multi-purpose. So you could pull in the clenches and have it a little bit smaller, which does shift the wideness of the mouth opening. So let's go ahead and do that real quick so you can see how wide it opens. It's a little bit more similar to the Graceful MM when you clench the sides, because it is not fully open, you have really more of a limited access when you do clench the sides. So it makes it a little bit smaller of a tote bag. So it's still wider at the bottom, but you don't have, let's see if you can tell, you don't have that full wide opening. So that's a really nice option if you wanted to use this more and change the style up, or if you just wanted to use it more as an everyday bag or mom bag or whatever. That makes it really easy to use. Another thing that these bags have in common that I absolutely love, and so many of you do too, because it gives you that additional privacy and just kind of easy to use. So we have the back compartments. So these back zipper compartments, if you guys can see it, we'll try to get a close up for you. Those are super wonderful and giant tote bags, in my opinion, for your phone, your keys, something you need to access, you know, quite frequently when you're out and about and you don't want to dig around for it or have to put it lower in the bag. That is a game changer. I absolutely love having those internal pockets. It makes it so easy to use. And on these bags, both of them are such a good size. You could put your phone, your keys, you could even put I've put my wallet in there, or, you know, chapstick or lip gloss, whatever. You can put it in there and it fits wonderfully. A couple other things we're going to talk about today. So the bottom of your bag. This is going to determine your base shaper, your organizers, when you have those in there, if they're interchangeable and how they would fit. So on the Neverfull, like I said, you have more structure at the bottom, more circumference, and on the Graceful, you have a little bit less in that slouchy fit. So this also changes a little bit on how the bag fits, which we will check out at the end of the video as well. But overall, the Neverfull, the GM is bigger and you'd be closer in size if you went with the Neverfull MM. However, I wanted to share with you today the difference on these two and just kind of a close-up look of how they look together. So you can't go wrong with either one. Let me know in the comments below, which one do you guys prefer? I think they are both such great options for your collection for different reasons, but both of them work out well for so many things. These are such a versatile piece and I love that. I love being able to add things to your collection that you're not only going to use now, but you could use it later on for multiple different things. You could use it for work, you could use it for every day, or even travel. So even on the Graceful, I love that you could have this more of an open tote and that you could add, like for me, if I'm traveling, if I want to add an additional sweater or something like that, then it fits in there and it still could fit in the Graceful MM, which is such a nice thing to have on a bag where you can have your everyday and more is kind of how I refer to it. So your everyday items, and maybe if you're going to have that additional item as well, or take things for your kids or, you know, whatnot. So without further ado, let's go ahead and check out some what's in my bags, what fits and maybe doesn't fit, vice versa in either bag. And we're going to do that try on and it's going to help you out so much and see how these bags fit and a little bit more of a close up of them. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, friends, so we're gonna have a little bit of fun today. I know this kind of takes up a bit of room here, so bear with me. We are going to check out what fits in the Graceful and the Neverfull and kind of what that looks like side by side, so how it transitions over and how full that looks. So right now I have a few things in my Graceful that would be my go-to items, the gum, the keys, all this good stuff. We're gonna go ahead and see how full this looks, and then we're gonna transfer it over and then put the additional items I would use in, say for road tripping or whatnot, and kind of how that sits. So first we have the Graceful. I've got some of my everyday items in here. It's pretty full. I don't like to max it out all the way because it'd be super, super heavy, but let's go ahead and put these items over there. This is how they fit in the Graceful though. I put some of those items in the top zipper compartment, but as you can tell, there's the sunglasses, pouches, gum, and all that good stuff. So let's go ahead and see what it looks like over here and what else we're gonna put in there. So for starters, before we put that stuff in, I'm gonna put the additional items in because on the Neverfull, I like to put my larger items in first. And so we're gonna put some of those things in. So honestly, I go to this all the time, but right now I have diapers and wipes in here so that if we go somewhere, I don't have to trail around the diapers and wipes. Say if we get up at a restaurant, we can just take the pouch. So there's that one. I also am taking the organizer because I use this for so much of my stationery work. The PM pouch, I have another one for, this one is for my like markers and pens and stationery and all of that good stuff. A bag of protein chips because today we're packing for a road trip in the Neverfull and seeing how much can transition over. So phone, keys, wallet, all of that good stuff. Like I said, in the tote bags, I really like to use this top compartment for those items and those fit in there really well. So those just go right in there. Next we have sunglasses, the Louis Vuitton earbuds. I almost said earphones, earbuds. and those pouches. My go-to pouches, the toiletry and the PM pouch. Someday I may switch it up some more with those, but they've just been so great for what I needed. And I like to kind of organize those like this. And this is why sometimes I do not use an organizer. I do a lot of times, and I do not a lot of times. So it's probably honestly about 50-50 for me. Because as you can see, I really organize by pouches. Some of those gums that are almost gone. Make sure you check those out. I have them in the Amazon link because they're seriously every day. Key pouch, nail kit, there we go. So that was what was in the Graceful. And then we had those additional items that we added for the Neverfull. So let's check out this fit because it is quite full. So this is full. Yes, it's gonna be more heavy, but it fits everything you needed. So this fits all that I needed for my road trip, and I have room for my sweater on top because I told you guys I love to take an additional sweater with me if I'm going on a road trip or whatnot. And this also takes the snacks into account and my kids' stuff, and I can toss a couple extra toys on top if I need. So let me know in the comments below, what do you use your Louis Vuitton Graceful for, and what do you use your Neverfull for? And do you prefer the GM or the MM? I'm curious to hear from you guys. I love that you can pull the side clinches in with this one and give it a different look. And honestly, with how full I fill this, I still have room to do the side clinches like that because it's just basically in the bottom. But if that sweater was on top, it would be a little bit different. So let me know in the comments below. I'm curious to hear from you guys. But thank you so much for joining me today. And let's go ahead and jump into the try on of the Louis Vuitton Graceful and Louis Vuitton Neverfull. All right, friends, so like I said, let's go ahead and try on the Louis Vuitton Neverfull GM and the Graceful MM. So for starters, we're gonna do the Graceful MM. This is such a gorgeous piece. I love the hobo look with that thick shoulder strap. It makes it super easy to carry. So one thing to note, this bag looks a little bit more structured and straight across when you have it sitting, as to where once you pull that strap and you go to wear it, it really just fits to your body frame. So it sits nicely, your arm can sit on the bag a little bit, it's super comfortable, it's not too cumbersome or chunky, but it gives you that beautiful classic look of that hobo style, but it sits so well. So it's good for so many different body frames. I love that you can kind of sling it back if you prefer to have it farther back, or you can have it right under your arm. Either way is super comfortable. Do note that this canvas moves around, so if you put it under your arm, it's going to kind of just fit you personally and how you're carrying the bag. I love that it just like melts. It's so comfortable. A couple things to note though is once you have that organizer, it could add that additional structure at the bottom if you wanted that. Otherwise, you have more of that slouchy look, and when you add some items, it kind of gives it that natural hobo style look. But the organizer, like I said, only comes up about halfway. So when you have that, you're gonna have that structure till about here. And then at the top, you should still have that really comfortable fit, and you don't have to worry about, that taking away from that. It'll still be there and still be really comfortable. But like I said, you'll have more of the structure, more at the bottom of the bag. So that's how this Graceful fits. I know a lot of you do like to add the additional crossbody strap to the D-rings, and that would more of sit kind of slouched and fit to your hip if you were to do that. But like I said, the strap is not removable. However, it is beautiful and a perfect fit for this bag. So let's go ahead and do the Louis Vuitton Neverfull GM. All right, so the GM. Here is the Louis Vuitton Neverfull GM. Let's try it on two different ways today. Let's do the classic open tote style, and then we'll go ahead and clinch the side straps. So this is how the bag fits. For reference, I am 5'5", and this is how it fits me. I love that slouchy canvas. So on the organizers, sometimes I use them, sometimes I do not. Originally, I really didn't care for them, and then once I started using them, I really liked how I could use them in different bags and transition. So if you want to check out the description below, I have different organizers and base shapers, and even that zip close organizer for the Neverfull. But that's how this one fits. Let's go ahead and clinch those side straps and do it that way as well. This is such a great option if you want to change up the look of your bag, or if you just want it to be a little bit smaller, maybe for an everyday carry, opposed to, if you're using it for travel or work. It makes it a little bit multi-purpose, a little bit more multi-purpose, because this bag is already a very multi-purpose piece. Let's go ahead and clinch that one as well. All right, friends. So there we have it. As you can tell, it just changes it just a little bit, but I absolutely love that. I love the look of the side clenches in with the little charms added. I got that one. Whoops, I did this one backwards, so it got looped around. Okay, there we go. There we go. It was sitting awkward. So that's how this one looks. I love that you can have the Neverfull GM, which seems like a ginormous tote bag, and it is a big tote bag. So you could use it for travel, but when you do this, it makes it so much more of an everyday size fit. And it sits so good. I love that slouchy canvas feel. And I feel like you could get that with this one. So even though it's a GM, it's a larger size, the way it fits and how you could carry it every day would be wonderful. Now you also need to note something that I've run into in the past with those organizers. So if you get one that is fit for the Neverfull GM and it's supposed to fit perfectly, one thing to note is it will fit a little bit different if you pull the side clenches on most of them. So most of them, if they're going end to end on the Neverfull and you pull those side clenches, it's going to fit a little bit more awkward or push out at the bottom, and you won't have that slouchy look as much as to where if you don't have the organizer in there, it is going to sit a little bit differently. Or if you went with a smaller organizer for when you pull the side clenches in, that is a great option as well. But like I said, this puts it more of an everyday style bag for size. I just feel like this is more of a your everyday carry. Even if you wanted to do a work bag, you could totally pull the side clenches in too. I wouldn't probably do this way if I was traveling, just because it does restrict the bag a little bit more, but it makes it feel like you could actually use this every day, and the lightweight carry of it. Absolutely love it. So let's do a side-by-side real quick. We're gonna do it with the Graceful MM and then the side clenches on the Neverfull GM, because I feel like this really puts it kind of in perspective of them being similar in size when you do that. As to whereas if you had the Neverfull open, it would be a little bit bigger, and this would be closer to what you'd have for your Neverfull MM. So let me know in the comments below, friends, which one do you prefer? And what would you use it for? I'm curious to hear from you guys. I feel like this really is something to where they'd be great additions to your collection, regardless of which one you chose or both of them. They are both so unique in their own ways, but so multi-purpose. You could use them for so long on different options. So let me know in the comments below. I'm excited to hear from you guys. I think they are timeless pieces as well, and such a classic bag to add to your collection. Thank you so much for joining me today, friends. I love getting to share a good handbag review video, what's in my bag, and all that good stuff with you. And today was so fun to be able to give you that comparison and side by side, because I know sometimes it's just easier to be able to see the bags, how they fit, and more. So if you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe down below. It means so much to me. And if you enjoy authentic luxury handbags like I do, make sure you check out abbymbags.com for available inventory. Until next time, bye friends.